going on, everybody? Sean Thatcher, Fab That Inc. Thatcher Fabrication. Have you ever done something that just by God, just dumb? Well, I've done a whole lot of dumb things in my life, and this past week I've been doing some unboxings of some things like that. And now, as I've explained on here before, I'm not a cameraman or a video editor in any kind of way, shape, or form. Why the damn thing just ain't going right? This cigar's laid here for 2 days, probably. I'm just gonna finish it up. There we go. So, I bought a plasma cutter. I bought an Art Captain plasma cutter, cut 55 Pro. Did a complete video, complete unboxing video to show if it was, because there's hundreds of professional sponsored YouTube guys and Instagram and just social media people that I guess they've sent these machines to them and let them brag about how good they are. And I said, well, hell, for 400 bucks, if it's worth a shit, it's worth the money for 400 bucks. You know, I think the last one I bought was 10, 15 years ago, and I'm gonna tell you, I give $2,400-$2,500 for it. And I actually went through 2 of them in the course of 3 or 4 years, or 4 or 5 years, I guess it was, and really wasn't too impressed with the brand I had. It's the Thermodynamics. And so I said, well, shit, I ain't doing professional shit no more, and I don't really need a big, huge plasma cutter. So I said, well, I'll spend the 400 bucks, buy this thing. Worst case, it don't work, I send it back. So I completely unboxed this thing. Hooked it all up, plugged it in to 120 out of just normal wall socket. You know, and most people don't have a 220 plug in their house garage. It's something like you run your dryer off of, you know, like a 220 plug. But out here in the shop, I do have that. But I was going to run it on the 120 and just see what it does. Well, it wouldn't cut jack shit. Wouldn't cut sheet metal. Wouldn't cut nothing. Wouldn't go over 22 amps is all it would, just you crank it all the way up, 22 amps is all it would pull. Now, I read the directions and tried to figure it out, and I thought my air pressure was wrong, and which it ended up being, it was. And I adjusted my air pressure, got a different air pressure regulator. It comes with an air pressure regulator on it. And it's just so damn funny. The reason I can't show it is because I'd posted it I put it on Facebook on a time release for week. I put out one of these every week, so I was trying to make a few, you know, ahead of time. And I had it already posted it, so it just ain't come out yet. And I was dogging it pretty bad because it wouldn't do what it was supposed to do. Now, are these people lying to us or not? Well, so I went and bought I thought it was a piece of shit. So I went and bought a Harbor Freight. I went to Harbor Freight and bought another plasma cutter. It's $978. So it's double the price. And another buddy of mine's got one. He's bragged on his just for shop use. Around me, just for house, like doing small job. This ain't something you're gonna put in a big 12-hour, 50-hour day fabrication shop. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's not even close to being neither one of them, or even close to being something you'd buy for a professional shop that you're working 7 days a week or 6 days a week. You know, 12, 15 hours a day. These things probably won't hold up. You'd want to buy something significantly better quality, and also with a significant price. So with that said, I hooked this this Harbor Freight plasma cutter up. But it's doing the same damn thing. It's like, what the hell? I mean, it's something on my end, right? That's my first thought. Like, all right, so I got to feeling around, and turns out my compressor. Well, first thing I found was my pressure regulator that I have in the lines that I was running to that thing was frozen. Like, it's 5 degrees outside, and here it's probably, I'd be lucky if it's 25 degrees in this shop right now. I have to build a heater for this place. I'm gonna build a waste oil heater because I'm only in here on a good month, 4 or 5 days. On a good month, I'm only in here 4 or 5 days a month. I'm actually ending my vacation right now, so I've been out here a little more than normal. And so I went and I forgot my coffee sitting over here. So I went and so something's wrong. So I found that my pressure regulator was messed up. So I go and buy a new pressure regulator. I don't know if it's froze up or just had sat here for all these years and just stuck, or whatever the reason it wasn't working. And so I changed that out. I hook it back up. And there again, this stuff has sat around in here for probably 7, 8, 10 years, ain't been used. Same with my air compressor that on a previous video, I've got back working. But for some reason there again, I think it's got to do with the cold weather, its pressure regulator that's on the actual, that tells it when to kick on and kick off, wasn't working. Well, I didn't realize that. So I was running too low of pressure, and it was kicking on, but it wasn't kicking on it wasn't stopping where it was supposed to. It was out of adjustment. Anyways, I was running too low of pressure, and the pressure regulator was bad. So this stuff was like, and I also hadn't hooked it up yet to 220, which is what I run those other plasma cutters as I used to own. I all run those on 220. Well, these say you can run them on 120, but I'm gonna tell you this: both of these plasma cutters, an Arc Captain Cut 55 Pro and a titanium. It's from Harbor Freight. It's a titanium 65. Do not try, if your shop does not have 220, 240, whatever. Do not buy don't buy these plasma cutters. They will not function. They will not do what they're supposed to do. Neither one of them. And I got them both. I was trying to run them both on 120. It's a regular plug-in, just plug it into the normal wall socket. Neither one of them would cut a piece of sheet metal, like a piece of 18 gauge sheet metal. Wouldn't do nothing. And when they did, if they would cut, they kick off and on, off and on, off and on. You had to pull the trigger, just constantly try to get through a piece of metal. I got so frustrated with it. I even boxed up the Arc Captain. I boxed it back up and was going to send it back. I'd already had it boxed up and sitting over there. I'm going to ship it back, get my money back. But when both of them was doing the same thing, I said, well, this is something on my end. So I went today. This is the next day. I went today and bought, I didn't have the electrical fittings, the plugs, because my plugs for my 220 for my welder and my other stuff I've got have a different plug than what these plasma cutters, when you run them on 220, what they have. So I had to go get an adapter plug, and I had to make a cord to run them. So it goes from my plug that's in my wall for my welders, or it's mounted on my wall, to go into their plugs that they come with. So I did that today. Plugged the Harbor Freight, because I was going to keep that one. I had the Arc Captain boxed up. I'm going to keep it. It's a more expensive one. It's probably a better plasma cutter. I was going to just keep it if it works. If not, I'll send it back too. Anyways, hooked them up, hooked them 90 PSI, 95 PSI. Because that's what they both say at 220. You can run them at between 90 and 100, 105, 110 range in there. So I just said, let's go 95. So that's what I did. And cut beautiful. Cut beautiful, cut 18 gauge, cut 1/4 inch, cut 3/8, cut, I mean, a big old piece of big old piece of thick steel. Now the Harbor Freight one goes to 65 amps, and the Cutmaster 55 goes to 55 amps. Now it had a problem. The Cutmaster hooked to 220 at 95 psi had a problem going through the big old thick piece that I was just testing to see if he'd cut. It didn't like it. But that thing's not built to cut shit like that. It's not made to do that. It's not going to do that. So what I did, though, back up a little bit, is so my compressor, I didn't want to mess this compressor in here today. It's going to be a tear down job to change that regulator and change the pressure switch and everything that's in there. Like I say, this shit's sit here for years. I'm surprised it even worked at all, to be honest with you. I thought I was going to have to buy a brand new compressor system for this place, but what I might just have to do is redo that stuff, and I might throw another motor, not a motor, but electric motor on there to maybe update it a little bit. But anyways, that's another story. But so I didn't want to mess with that thing and to buy all that stuff today, because this is my last day that I can do anything out here. I'm going back to the restaurant in the morning to start working and open it back up. And I got a little portable Craftsman, tub style, little pancake style, I think is what they call pancake style little mobile air compressor. Plug it into 120 and it'll run up 120 psi or something like that. So I got it plugged up out here and run these plasma cutters off of it. The pump, it goes up to 120. I got it regulated down to 95, and they cut beautiful, both of them. So what happened with the videos, though, is the reason I'm making this video is I had dogged that cut the Arc Captain one. I dogged it a little bit on that video, so I'm not going to post it. But I will recommend two things. Only try to run that thing on 220, 240, whatever it is. I'm not an electrician. I just know it's a 220 or 240, something like that. So don't try to run that thing on a house plug, on a plug that's just a normal 3-prong plug. Just a normal, there's not one right here close to me, but don't try to run it on it. It won't work. It will not work. I literally wouldn't cut a piece of 18 gauge sheet metal. And I even a minute ago hooked it back up to the 120 and tried it, and it just doesn't. It just don't function. At least the one I got doesn't function, but it seems to function really well with the 220. So there you go. I'm gonna go over in a minute, but now I'm gonna warn you. I've got this little compressor over here, and it's sitting right in the middle of the garage. It's loud. It's going to be hard for me to make a video of it, but all I can do is show you guys that they work, that they function, and do a comparison of the two, show you what they look like. Because when I uploaded all that stuff to when I uploaded all that stuff to YouTube, I deleted it all off my phone, because that's how I'm recording all this, is over my phone, and it doesn't. I can't save all this stuff on my phone because it just jams my phone up and stops recording shit. So I'm going to go over here right now. I'm going to try to give you as good a review as I can of how these things function. But they do both function well on 220. Don't try to run the Arc Captain or that Harbor Freight one on 120 if you're expecting to do anything. I mean, I don't know what you could run them on. I really don't know if you could run them on. I don't know what you could cut with them. I mean, maybe something like super thin, floppy metal. I don't know what it would cut, but it wouldn't cut a piece of 18 gauge sheet metal. Neither one of them would, really. And so there again, I'm giving them. I still don't know what I'm going to do with either one of them yet. I'm not going to keep both of them, but they do function. They do work. I will recommend buying them, because I've cut over there with each one of them for probably 30 minutes on a bunch of scrap, dirty, rusty junk that's been laying over there for all these years, and they seem to work fine. So with that said, I'm going to go over here and have to use the same 3 pieces of metal on each one of them, and I'm going to show you what they do. And I'm sorry for the compressor running It's going to run a lot because it's only, you know, probably don't hold 5 gallon of air, you know. But anyways, we're going to do that. I'll show you what this is, show you how they both work. If you got $400 to spend, go spend it. Buy that little Arc Captain, but don't expect it to be some big major thing. The Harbor Freight one, like I say, it's $978. I think what the receipt was. It's a little more heavy duty. It's a little bigger body. It's something you'd want to put on a cart. The other one you can probably pack around if you need something mobile, super mobile. They seem to work good, but they do not work on 120. Do not try them. Do not attempt to. They just don't function properly. So with that said, I'm gonna shut this off here. And go over here and give you all a shot at these things cutting and show you what they do. I'll try not to talk too much and go from there. All right, see you in a minute. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you these again. This is the Arc Captain 55 Pro. This is the titanium Plasma 65 from Harbor Freight. So this is from Arc Captain Welding, I think is what it is. So yeah, let me hook these back up, and I will show you how they cut and show you, you know, what my experience has been with them. And yeah, all right. One thing I will say about this guy is it does not come with a built-in regulator, so you have to purchase you a little air pressure regulator for this one. The other Arc Captain does come with one, but you have to purchase that separate. But other than that, they're both pretty well equal in things they come with. So that's enough. You have to purchase that thing. It's going to be 40 or 50 bucks for one like this. It's got the screw on top, and I'll show you in a second. Well, here, I'll just show you. The Arc Captain comes with its own pressure regulator. So that's the difference in them as far as I'm concerned. And I'll try to show you this best I can. It's a little bit of a mess here, and I apologize for that. I was just trying to do something quick and make this happen here. See if they was going to work, function properly. All right, so here's the metal that I was working with the other day. This piece, and there's a piece of sheet metal here. Here's a piece of sheet metal. Piece of sheet metal I was working with, and then this big boy here. This is what I was trying to cut on the other day. You can see it did cut, and I was cutting on this piece of just old junk scrap metal. This piece of probably 18 gauge sheet metal. All right. So it kicks on. Heard it kick on there. So it's got a dial on it right here. You can dial it down to 20 amps or up to 65. And it's got these other settings that I've not messed with those yet. I'm going to get a little more familiar with the machine first and figure that out. I'm going to show you that it functions. Like I say, this is real world shit. This ain't sponsored. This ain't no kind of nothing. They didn't give me nothing. I bought every bit of this with my own money. And make sure I got the right grounds. So I'm going to hook this ground right up to the metal. Here we go. Now I don't like these damn triggers on either one of them. But here we go. I'll switch to this piece. kind of that thick plate. This is a big old, this ain't made for this. This machine's not made for this. Look, I done cut a big chunk off of it a minute ago. But there again, it's not made for this thick of metal, but we're gonna do it anyway. Pretty impressive for a machine that costs $1,000. I wouldn't say it do it all day long, but there's that machine. Let me unhook it, and I'll come right back with the other one. All right, guys, so I'm back. Got this one here in here. We're gonna hook the air up to it and give it a run. Arc Captain Cut 55 Pro, $400. Air up to it. It's regulated at 95 pounds. It comes with its own pressure regulator, which I do like. This one comes with, you don't have to really have anything. It comes with everything except for maybe mine didn't come with this fitting down here to run that hose into an air fitting. And I didn't even really tighten all that stuff up, but this little compressor is going to kick on here in a minute, and I want to go ahead and it don't run. It takes it a second to kick on, and you see you can run it at 20. It comes on 20 amps. You can see it says right there 240 volt. And it goes up to 55 amps. And it's got different modes too, but we'll see which one of these I keep and figure that out. Do a little more stuff. So we'll go with the small piece first, like we did the other one. Still good. This one's got that trigger guard on it. One thing I do like about this is this has got like a swivel neck on it. That is pretty nice. I don't know how long that would last in a shop, really, but we'll try her out. Here we go. Well, this wouldn't do shit last night. That's my fault. I will say this doesn't like to be this trigger pulled when it's not touching metal, when it's not like get ready, like this. It don't like that. It'll kick off. The other one won't do that, and my old ones don't do that. I don't know if that's a safety thing or what. I mean, why would you want to just pull it up and pull it around? But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't like that. So keep that in mind. It'll cut all through this. It cuts pretty good. It does leave a little bit of frost on it, but that's alright. Supposed that old good be walking around this for us. We'll go to this piece. Same piece I cut on a minute ago. See what it does. I was ready to skip this thing back to him. I got a little aggravated about it. But I'm gonna cut this piece. Now it ain't this one for sure is not made to cut this kind of steel. But I'm gonna show you what it does. That's the other one, the piece I cut off of it. I'm even gonna attempt to try to cut that bigger piece, but if it's cutting good, let's see what it does. Here we go. I'll do it from this side, that way you can see the difference. That's real time, real world. Ain't no fake bullshit. This ain't sponsored. This little machine will cut that. But I say I'd box it up and gonna ship it back. I was gonna ship it back to them and get my money back, because I didn't care for it. Shut that off. But it is they're both pretty good little welders. And welders. They're both pretty good little plasma cutters for what they are, for $1,000. $400 on that one. 900 and well, almost 1,000 on the titanium one from Harbor Freight. So spend your money wisely. That's why I'm doing this. I'm gonna be buying some new equipment for the shop, and used stuff, old stuff, some new stuff that I'm gonna need to get the shop back, you know, where I can function in here again. But I just want to show you, there's two different price levels there, but you have to have 240 volt in your garage to run that Arc Captain and to run this. They'll advertise all they want to that they'll run on 110, but I've got a video on my phone, or I've got a video that's uploaded to YouTube. I'm not going to post it because I was dogging them pretty good about it. But I'm not going to post them. It's redeemed itself, but you have to run them on 240. They will not run on 120. They can say what they want to. But that's my comparison of these two guys. The Arc Captain Cut 55 Pro and the Harbor Freight Titanium Plasma 65. If you got $400, that's all you've got to your name, and you have to have a plasma cutter, and you got 240 volt and 90 psi functioning in your shop, buy it for $400. I think it's $386 shipped to my house. I think that's what I paid for it. So $400. $400 in a hamburger, or $386 in a hamburger, you'll have $400. So the other one, I buy either one of them. I would. They're both good plasma cutters, but if you got the extra money and you're wanting something a little more sturdy, a little more hefty, I know, stuff from Harbor Freight's not really super quality stuff, but this seems to be. I've used it. I was in here cutting before I started making this video. I was in here cutting for 30 minutes nonstop, just cutting pieces, just like you see me do, just scrap pieces on the trigger, off the trigger, just make sure it's functioning properly, and they both work like they're supposed to. And I'll figure out what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to keep both of them, but I might sell one or the other. But we'll figure that out down the road. I appreciate your all's time. Like and subscribe. And I'm going to try to do better at these videos. I'm going to get a GoPro or something and try to find somebody to help me edit some of this stuff, because I get in here and talk too much and make these videos too long. And I apologize for that. But I'm thankful I think we're up to 87 people. 87 or 88 people that are following along with me here, and I really appreciate all you guys. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notifications when I post. I try to post videos on Fridays. I might change that because a lot of people post videos on Fridays, so I might change what day I post these up. I've got a few in the can already lined up, ready to go, because I'm getting ready to start back at the restaurant, and there again, that takes a lot of my time up. So get out in your shop, go work on an old car or two or five, whatever, some old smokers, or get into blacksmithing, get into restoring some old stuff. I'm going to try to restore these to functioning, not paint them and slick them up and everything like that, but make them get back to where they work again. I'll show you another thing over here that I'm going to get back to functioning again. And me and a buddy of mine have got a plan on this thing. It's an old Russell punch press. I think it's 5 tons. It's got it on it somewhere. I think it's a 5 ton or something like that. But we're going to make some. This has got a corner punch plate on it right here, where you can make different box presses and things like that. He puts your sheet metal in there and it'll punch it, cut your corners out. I got a couple other different tools for it. But I'm gonna get this thing back up and running, and me and some buddy of mine's got a 3D printer, and we're gonna make some punch plates and try to make some cool stuff with some of this shit I got around here. So, but anyways, y'all have a great night, great day, great month, great year, and go buy you one of these little plasma cutters and make your life a little easier. And the real test to me with these is gonna be when I'm cutting into some old junk car, cutting the floor pans out of some old junk car. It's hard on them. It's hard on these plasma cutters to do that kind of stuff. But when you're cutting, I see a lot of these guys use these cutoff wheels to cut everything with, and man, they have a plasma cutter. I mean, it's tough on them. You go through the consumables with them, as I did on my old ones that I used to have. But it's way better than using them damn cutoff wheels, I'll tell you that. But all right, I'm out of here. See you guys. Love you. Y'all have a great day, and like and subscribe. Love you. Bye.